Welcome to another episode of Comedy Wham Presents with me, your host, Valerie, and sometime kidding co-hosts, Miss Purrington and Mookie.
Wait, hold on. Why are we? It's just another episode with you and your cats.
No. I'm Valerie Lopez of Comedy Wham, and welcome to the very serious Comedy Wham lecture series on being a comic from someone who's interviewed over 300 comedians from all walks.
Wait, hold up. You can't fit that all on a merch, man. That's too much. Yeah, I'm positive. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ellis, and I've been doing comedy for as long as I've been doing comedy. Ain't none of your damn business. But you heard my interview with Valerie. You know that we have some thoughts about comedy.
So we're bringing you our thoughts across 10 different themes, and these are short, fun episodes to inspire you and get you thinking about how to push yourself. And
Okay, can we call the class KKPP class? Right? You don't never agree.
ComedyWham.com is your place to go for features about all Austin comedy. In addition to podcasts, we've got articles, album reviews, Rochelle's advice column, my Austin Chronicle articles, our festivals list from across the country and the world, and our FPIA contest page. And the 2024 contest is done. And everyone knows about our events page for live comedy shows in Austin, Houston, and DFW, where 100% of the entries you see come from comics and producers. That's a nice touch. That's a nice touch, Ellis.
Shit.
Submit a show from our homepage to add your show. It's free and easy. Tag us on your Instagram stories, and we'll share to our followers. You can also buy promo boosts for extra promos. Donate to Comedy Wham on PayPal, Venmo, or even Patreon by clicking Support CW on our homepage.
Let's go.
Today, our theme is, let's rustle all the papers here. Our theme is
heckling. Heckling and crowd work. Shut your ass up.
Oh,
God, I get so.
Have you been heckled?
Who hasn't been heckled? Who hasn't been a stand-up and been in the audience where they were like, the audience member was like, you know what? I'm funnier than this motherfucker. So let's just blurt out and say whatever the hell we want to say. Or sometimes people even forget that this is a like one person speaking kind of thing, and they think it's a conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, white girls, black guys, Asian people, it don't really matter. Everybody kind of does it. Heckle, this episode is about heckling and crowd work.
Have you been to shows where the host does their job of saying, hey, no heckling, and then people still heckle?
Yeah, it's kind of like, because the term, like, heckling, right? Can we define what heckling means? Ooh. Real quick, just for the viewers at home?
Yeah.
Okay, so, like, heckling is just any, whether it be good or bad, just shouting out without being, without permission. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If you are the stand-up, and that is your time, right? Mm-hmm. If you want to engage with the audience, then that's your prerogative. But they need to be good stewards and like watch you and not say nothing.
Yeah.
But sometimes people are like, okay, heckling is like, I'm not going to say anything crazy or I'm not going to say anything crass. I'm just going to be like, yeah. But it could fuck you up like timing wise. Mm-hmm. It can mess you up. Like maybe they'll say the punch before you get to it. And that's a whole thing. So yeah, heckling is just, talking when you don't need to be talking.
And crowd work is kind of like the reverse of that.
Crowd work is the reverse of that. This is when the comics get to know the audience member a little bit better and engage. They have an exchange with the audience. Mm-hmm. And that can be through like a series of questioning. Oh, what you do for work? Oh, I work with pets. I look at pink cat holes all day.
Oh, why'd you go there?
I know. I'm sorry. I don't know. I ain't had my coffee yet. I'm just here. I work at whatever. And then it could also be observation. I'll be like, if I see you in the audience, I'll be like, ooh, okay. Oh, lady with the silver hair, with that pink, with that blue shirt on. You're looking like a sexy senior citizen.
Oh, stop.
Okay, just kidding. I'm kidding. Valerie, oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, Valerie is glowing today. Like, let's not, just ignore that last little bit.
Pregnant.
But this is Oh, right. Is glowing exclusively for pregnancy?
Well, there's a lot of people though when they are pregnant, there's like this glow to them.
Glow to them.
Yeah,
You glowing though, so I'm like,
Okay,
I don't know. But anyway, observational stuff, right? We see and we want to talk about it, and sometimes there's some shit that the comic cannot ignore,
Yeah.
and we have to talk about it. It's our job to acknowledge it, or maybe you don't want to do that, and that's okay too.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're not here to tell you what to do. We're just trying to give you tools and shit to navigate.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you you surely know Matt Rife? Everybody knows
Matt Rife, the handsome Squidward.
white boy. Yeah. Yeah. He is, known now for crowd work.
Crowd work, yeah.
And I mean, as a comic, how do you feel about somebody that is known for crowd work, or even known for how they deal with hecklers versus, hey, they have a really great joke about pneumonia?
I have no prerogative. I have no problem with. I have no qualms. Is what I was looking for. That's the word. Fancy word of the day. Qualms. I have no qualms with people like. Whatever you do, just do it well, right?
Yeah.
That's my philosophy about it. A lot of people don't like that he is a crowd work guy, and it's kind of like but it's like there's more ways to skin a cat. You can do shit in different varieties, and just because you do crowd work doesn't necessarily mean you're not a great writer. And if you are a great writer, doesn't necessarily mean you're bad at crowd work. Yeah. You might favor one over the other, and that's okay. All I say is just do it to the best of your ability. Yeah. But yeah, I like the crowd work stuff.
Have you seen people try to do one of these and do it badly?
Oh, crowd work?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, it's almost like how like you's a beautiful young lady. So it's like this. As a guy, right? Uh-huh. Have you ever a guy come up to you and he was flustered and he didn't know what to say, and it just sounded like a mess, like he had no plan.
You and I all the time?
Huh?
Isn't that you?
Oh no, baby, I'm very. I got a game plan.
Okay.
I be thinking. Oh shit! Don't put me out there like that, baby. These are all jokes. My girlfriend gonna kill me.
Steven, it's all fine.
She Jamaican. She gonna get a fucking Ross Clyde fucking broom in my head. But anyway, yeah. So it's kind of like this. Like a guy. People will try to crowd work and don't have a game plan. You don't have and there's no game plan per se. But it's almost like you didn't know what you wanted to ask, and it's like this awkward energy. Or sometimes people will ask a question and like wanting a response to lead into a joke, and then it doesn't go the way. Because sometimes crowd work segues into your material. But sometimes, the audience member is unpredictable, and you kind of have to be. I don't know. To me, it's like the ultimate exercise in your mental agility, like to assess the situation, then go about it accordingly.
Do you remember those? Maybe I'm of a certain age where this is not something that happened to younger generations. But do you ever remember, like in elementary
with the stick
school?
No,
in elementary school, you folded the pieces of papers and then you did you would pick a number, like you do the. My mother told me blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
and then you pick a number, and then it would reveal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's almost like in my mind, I can't do crowd work. And it's because I can think of a question. I just can't anticipate all of the possible responses to then work as a segue into my next joke.
Right.
So that's just the nerdy way for me to think about, why you have to actually be a step ahead of the audience when you're asking a question.
You definitely have to have something in the wheelhouse. Some people ask a question that have nothing in the clip for them. Mm-hmm. I just say if that's not your forte, then stick to your material. Because also, crowd work can also breed. Drum roll, please.
You can do that.
Heckling.
Oh no!
If you
The
crowd,
audience member that won't shut up.
yes, because you've introduced, the way you exchange with the audience will kind of give or with anyone, right? Like a human to human relationship,
Yeah.
right? The way the interaction, the dynamics that are set initially will dictate what's gonna what's gonna happen later on.
Mm-hmm.
For example, so if I'm jokey all the time, then you're gonna think I'm gonna be able to joke, like, oh, okay, it's cool, like whatever. He's been talking to me, she's been talking to me, so why can I not just say something?
Yeah.
He's asked everyone questions. So let's say I'm in the middle of a joke. Yeah, man. So I was I was at the strip club the other day. Yeah, which one? Yeah, so anyway, I was at the club and the other day. Man, that's my favorite. Okay. So yeah, you got to be really careful to like. It's a line between like the banter between the audience and them like overstepping their bounds.
Yeah.
If you don't establish like good boundaries with the audience.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So for the 3 minutes that I did stand up, I had a rule that if somebody heckled me,
Okay.
I would ignore them
Okay.
because I actually don't know how to properly handle
Heckling.
a heckler. Like, I don't want to be mean because that's so like not what I like to be, but I'm afraid that if I did say something, I would be mean.
Right. But okay, it's like and there's nothing wrong with that. It varies from comic to comic, I would think. I've seen people shut them the fuck
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
You won't them I've seen a motherfucker roast somebody so bad they left.
Oh, jeez.
But it's like I bet you they'll never heckle again.
Yeah, yeah.
They won't interrupt their girlfriend or mama or anybody ever again. Cause I've seen comics do that. I've also seen comics kind of like let them say what they say. Give them the floor because that's what they want.
Yeah.
All right, what was that? My mom is a fucking hairdresser. Your mom's a hairdresser. Yeah. And what? She's just the hairdresser. Okay. Stupid bitch. You done took 2 minutes away from the crowd. Da, 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 da. Like, you give them the floor to make them sound stupid.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. I don't like that.
I don't like, to me personally, I don't like that either. I'm more so like people paid, because it's all about who you are as a comic. I'm the type of person, I want us all to have a good time and I want us to laugh and be silly together. So I want it to be like a party. I want us to all hang out, whatever. So if you do heckle me, what I try to go about it is I try to piggyback off what you say or like flip it to like I'll make a joke about it, but not about them to make them feel bad. So it's like, God, what was it? Like last night there was a white girl like, oh my God, you're so handsome. I said, girl, you better quit playing with me.
Oh?
You better quit playing with me. I ain't never been with a white girl. My ancestors is gonna be pissed, but I was like, I engaged with it, and I commented on it, and they both laughed.
Yeah.
But then I quickly went right back into my set, not giving it any time to like. You can't. It's tricky. When you're loose, when your style is loose and conversational, it breeds interaction because there's just so much space in it. I've seen comics that are tight. Every second counts. Every joke, punch, 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 punch. You ain't gonna have time to like interject. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because they're so tight with it. They command the presence of the audience. It's not as like loose and free.
Right.
So it all depends on how you go about it.
Yeah. I would say don't try it maybe your first year until you kind of get the foundations of stand-up and the rhythm and like just understand some basic mechanics. And yeah, there's some people that you can watch who do great either of those. Like Big J. Okerson, to me, I go to Moon Tower Comedy Festival every year, and the first few years that I went, he was always pretty accessible performer. Now he's starting to be like, you can't you have to pay serious money to go to see his shows, but like he is such a master of crowd work and handling the hecklers that he was just so fascinating. Like I literally think the one time I did pay to go see him perform at Cap, the old Cap, he may have, for his, hour-long set, he may have told 3 jokes. And they weren't like long-form story jokes. They were like, maybe a couple minutes of jokes. Yeah. Everything else was him sitting on the stool, which is his brand, and just interacting with the audience and making jokes. And guys, you can't be Big Jay Okerson overnight.
Yeah, it's just gonna take some time. It's gonna, like, your comedy brain gotta develop. It's almost like you have to, I don't know, like, comics, we like damn warriors, man. We're like soldiers. We're special ops in wit. But, you're not gonna be fucking Chris Kyle overnight. American Sniper, R.I.P. You're not gonna be that motherfucker. You ain't gonna be you're knocking them out. You got to train, you got to hit the stages, and, because sometimes you can meet somebody, like, even though you're on the stage, you might not have the tools to deal with a heckler, which will, and sometimes hecklers say funny shit.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, I don't want to tell this story. I don't want to tell this motherfucking story. You know what? This is a learning lesson, ladies and gentlemen. I had a
falling asleep.
I had a show. I had a show that I wasn't too particularly fond of, and it was a predominantly black audience. Now, I'm not saying individual, I'm not trying to put race on the audience. Don't blame anything on the audience. You know what I'm saying? But there is a different tactic with everyone. Know your audience and know who you're talking to. In my experience as being a black individual and seeing black shows, boom, bam, joke. We ain't got time for this long setup. I did a joke that had an exceptionally long setup. But it was because the payoff was going to be so great. But what was needed was silence. Silence is the bridge between the setup and the punch. But if the silence is disrupted, there goes the whole fucking joke. I have this Papa John's bit, and then I ask a question at the end of my setup is, what is it? You give me one reason you want to eat at fucking Papa John's. Now, that was the question that would lead. Now, what was needed after that was silence, then my punch. I said, why the fuck would you want to eat at Papa John's? Silence. Black dude goes, 'cause it's good. Ignorant son of a bitch. Sorry, I get flashbacks of fucking this moment, and it's just like, but that wasn't. What the fuck were we talking about? Like,
I have no idea.
I was trying to illustrate a point, and I just trauma leaked all over this bitch. Yeah. Look, know your audience, know who you talking to, because hecklers can say some cool shit, and if you're not ready, then it can disrupt the set. And now because if the heckler wins, then it becomes like herd mentality, like it's a mob.
Oh, yeah.
Because now it's like, wow, this dude's trolling. So now because now the faith and trust is broken between you being the authoritative figure over the comedy. So now you have to win these motherfuckers back. Yeah. And that means you got to slay as many fucking dragons as you got to.
Sorry, I'm writing notes because I keep thinking about shows that kind of play on the whole concept of heckling and crowd work. So I want to make sure I talk about those later. I'm sorry. I'm not ignoring you.
Just the eye contact. I love it. Are those Gucci shirts? Gucci? Oh, my God. Ladies and gentlemen. Valerie Lopez is dressed to the nines.
Oh, my goodness. Good for the radio.
Oh, man. You got a face for radio. No, you don't have a face for radio.
Oh,
no,
man.
no. Ladies and gentlemen, see, look, hecklers. Okay.
Yeah, it's not good. See, I can't do it. I couldn't even be serious with you. Shut up.
In your time doing stand-up, what's the craziest heckle you've heard?
Oh, I don't know. Because I usually ignore it, so I don't even pay attention to it. But it could be because nobody liked my comedy.
I'm not here at Comedy Wham. We're not here for the Valerie slander.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay, so let's rewind that.
Okay, so I'll tell you about an experience I had. One of my very first book shows was, and this was a show that I wanted to mention, was Ariel Isaac Norman. And anybody that's listening to this and
I did a show with her.
Please ask her to bring back Off Script. It's a all heckling show. So she does a lot of like stuff that makes you think about how to be better performers. And the show is premised on encouraging heckling. So the people that she books, they know that there's going to be heckling. And so I did that show because I thought, what better way to prepare than you and eating the goddamn chocolate is hilarious. Okay, so I did that show, and because I'm older and I kind of play that, goofy, silly prototype, like there was a lot of flirty stuff that was being heckled. And so I just leaned into that and made it fun and silly. As opposed to, in general, when people see old lady on stage, I don't think their first go-to is, I'm going to rip this person a new one. They're just, going to be goofball.
For whatever reason, I've noticed, like, with older women and black men, it's not, like, heckling, for whatever reason, isn't as, or at least in the Austin area, what I've experienced, heckling, like, they're more reluctant.
Yeah.
They're going to allow you. Because one, they be like, oh, this black guy. Oh, fuck. If they knew I was from the burbs, they would be like, you know what I'm saying? I'm over here quoting Robert Frost and shit. Like, if they knew who I was, they'd be like, oh, my God, he's a gangster. I'm like, bitch, I have played in Othello. I'm quoting Shakespeare over here. But anyway, it's just, I noticed, like, it doesn't invite them. Now, white boys, skinny, if you white and you a comic, drink some milk and do push-ups. Like, if you skinny and white, I don't know what it is. They so dangly, but some people can but some people, like, it's so crazy. It's almost like some people get off on that shit where it's like, I know I look like I wouldn't be able to defend myself, but then they fucking they have the tools to just And I'm like, look at this skinny motherfucker go. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my experience with heckling. And then crowd work, like I try with my monthly showcase, I try a little bit to do crowd work, but I just, like I said, I don't go like the step beyond of anticipating. What are the possible responses that I could get to this so that I can create a little bit of a riff and some funny.
Right, it's kind of like a pattern. Like, it's almost like surfing, where it's like I'm trying to get a little wave, another little wave, and then a big enough wave to ride it out. Yeah. And I think, to your point, with crowd work, it could be like you could try to like look for the wave, and then it'd be nothing, and then the tide's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, where are you from? Here. Okay. Boom. But then here you go. Oh, excuse me. Sometimes the non-response can be a response for you.
Yeah.
So, like, there's so many possibilities, but then there's possibilities even in the things that aren't like open, that like they're not giving you a definitive answer. Then you can explore that.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, well, where are you from? Here. Where the fuck? Why are you just saying here? Are you somebody looking for you? Why is it? Who is he with? And then that can give them. I'm like, ma'am, do you know him? Yeah. No, I don't. Well, he just said it. Why is he saying it? And then that can be the branch of connective tissue or whatever. Me, I like to think I try to be like the Tasmanian devil on that bitch. Like, I love my material, but it's something about when you see an individual and something comes to your mind and you have to say it. Like, if I see I met a Native American person. And I'm like, what, ma'am, you Mexicans? I'm Native American. I said, bitch, what? I have never met one of you. What tribe are you from? Can you give me a last name? And then, like, my curiosity will, like, you got to be curious. You got to be wanting, I don't know. I find everything fascinating. And in your fascination will also generate material. And also your disgust. Like, it's emotionally based, right? Like, if you see someone arms folded, arms crossed, what the fuck is he here for? I know you've done shows where somebody's sitting front row, arms crossed, not laughing at shit.
Right.
And it's almost like, sir, what is up? Can I talk? Can we talk? I want a heart to heart. Who hurt you? We need to figure this out because, bitch, you ain't laughed at shit. How you gonna sit arms folded for 4 hours? The show lasted for 2 hours and you ain't laughed at shit.
Yeah.
It is funny. I can't fucking tell. It's just, I don't know. To me, it's more so like just a world of exploration. It's a world of, like, figuring out who you talking to. And then comedy is one of those things where you can use every bit of information you have at your disposal.
Yeah.
Like, you speak French. I didn't know you speak French. Now I just want to ride bikes and eat baguettes with you. Now there's a series of questions. Like, how long did you pretend to be French at any point?
No.
Oh. I would. That shit cool. Probably do. I feel like Dexter's Lab. He goes, "Omelette du fromage." It's just, people are so interesting. And when you can explore that, that'll get you your rhythm. You know what I'm saying? It'll get you, it'll light the synapses up. And, at least that's what works for me.
Yeah.
I know there's different, like, things other people go about it. I know, like, Nate Jackson? Mm-hmm. Okay, big boy. He on TikTok. So his thing is all crowd work. Huh. And this dude is actually, like, to me, he's like a savant. Like, he is next level.
Wow.
And I asked him, I'm like, what is your methodology for crowd work? Because it's exemplary. Like, I hardly ever, like, give people compliments, not because I just want to, it's like, I don't want to kiss your ass and be annoying, but also it's almost, I don't know, I just don't want to be that guy, but some people you see that are so undeniable, it's like, dude, I have to know, like, what is your methodology? Yeah. So, and his dude can pick somebody apart from the slightest information from the, like, and he goes, he does this thing called mind mapping, which is basically like,
I love mind mapping.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here is Valerie's segment on. Get ready. Mind mapping. Oh, Valerie, can we talk about mind mapping? Because I've never seen you smile this hard.
Yes, mind mapping is it's a version of brainstorming, and the way I have always done it is I write a sentence or a theme in the middle of a piece of paper and draw a circle around it. Mm-hmm. And then just based on that, I'm going to start drawing, like, lines coming out from that circle. And those are going to generate thought bubbles. And it's going to be all these thoughts all predicated on that center word or theme. And then those extension thought bubbles are going to lead to their own thought bubbles. And when you finish and you're looking at this one piece of paper that has all of these things scattered together, it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
It is beautiful. So I could totally see how mind mapping would really work well in this context.
It's mind mapping. This dude has explored he'll sit there for like a half a second computing this information. Yeah, I'm Asian and I'm from Tallahassee. The Tallahassee Asian population. No. What the fuck are you doing in Tallahassee? Because it's predominantly white. So then it's like Asian, white people, Dukes of Hazzard, Mulan. I don't know how this man thinks, but it's just all the things. Yeah, it's a beautiful sight to behold whenever you see someone like in action doing it.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to start wrapping up. The one additional thought that I want to throw out there before...
I love your additional thoughts. Go ahead.
is I think hanging out, with your comic friends and riffing for, an hour or so, whatever. I think that's a great way to kind of work that muscle, because if everybody's kind of on board with just riffing back and forth, then you can kind of get to the point where maybe you're not mind mapping and plotting everything out and seeing how different you can connect different thoughts and concepts, but maybe it gets you to the point where you just kind of trust yourself, which sounds like what you do when you're doing crowd work with people or responding to hecklers. You're just like, I'm just going to go with it because I trust myself. And if you do more of that practicing of reacting and responding among your comedy friends who are all kind of in this comedy mindset, I think that's a great way to kind of practice that muscle off stage.
Right. No, for sure. Sure. I totally agree.
Yeah. I want to give some shout outs to shows that I know focus on heckling, focus on crowd work.
Lay them out.
More so crowd work. Well, yeah, no, heckling. Okay, so I already mentioned Ariel Isaac Norman's. I hope that she can bring back Off Script, because I thought it was a great show. The comics know ahead of time that they're on a show where they're going to get heckled, and it's encouraged. And I think it's just a really fun thing to let the audience actually have the permission to heckle, because there's often some funny things that happen there. And then at a more national level, Mike Falzone's Surrounded, which is a crowd work show that is not the traditional, well, I should have said Jeremiah Watkins's Stand Up on the Spot is what you think of more of a traditional crowd work show where they get call and response from the audience. So they'll say, hey, throw out some words, audience, and then the comic has to write, live on the spot stuff based on that. And then the other version of that is Surrounded by Mike Falzone, where if you have a chance to watch it at Moon Tower, which is when it usually comes to Austin, it's at the Velveeta room, very small room, and you have the comic that stands in the middle of the floor. Ooh. They're surrounded by the audience, and the comic they can't do their sets. They have to just kind of look around and observe around them, and then, do crowd work with the person riff.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
It's very fun. It's magical. It's actually a magical show.
What was it again?
Surrounded.
No, what was the word you described it?
Magical?
Yeah, you just said it magically. So like you said magical, like your eyes rolled in the back of your head. It was great. It's magical.
Magical. All right. Anything else to add before we wrap this up?
I got shows and I got shows.
Okay. Well, we're not at that part yet.
Oh shit! Never.
Oh,
I'm tripping. Hey, my bad.
All right. Well, that's a wrap on our very serious Comedy Wham lecture series on being a comic from someone who's interviewed over 300 comedians from all walks of life.
Or what I like to call it, class caca PP. Look, there's a reason why we call it that. And you just keep listening. You're gonna find out. We're gonna tell you the reason why. Just hang tight. Stay with us. Stay loose. Or keep it tight. It don't matter.
You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, and of course comedywham.com. Follow me at Super Meowie and come out to my monthly show in Lakeway at Canyon Grill on first Wednesdays. I'm
going on that show October the 2nd. Oh my God. And you can also follow me, Ellis H, at first name, last name, ELLISAYCH at IG, TikTok, and YouTube.
We hope you've enjoyed today's lesson. Heckling and crowd work. Oh, we need the little person. Stay tuned. For next week, we will be presenting our next class, Be Professional.
Be professional. Don't come in here with no bullshit.
That's it.
That's it.